Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Gabian. I'm going to review comics. I got a couple of really good ones. You're going to want to stick around for them. But first, it's been snowy and icy up here in Oklahoma. And I just wanted to talk to you, give you guys a little bit of tips on how to deal with all the ice and everything that's going on. So I'll start out with that. I didn't get much done with the truck this week, as you can imagine, because all the snow and ice and everything. I've been trying to just keep everything warm, and I got Diane over there. She's all warmed up, and I got my jacket on, and it's about 20 degrees, but we're staying nice and warm in this truck. Got a heater back here, and my solar power isn't hooked up yet, but I got it running out all the electricity to a little place out here. So we're all staying warm and everything. So let me give you some, these are 10 tips on how to deal with all the ice and stuff. Okay. Number one, you're gonna want to walk like a penguin. You don't want to take any big strides or anything like that. You just want to be, little small steps and walk like a little penguin, okay? That'll help you from falling on the ice. Number two, if you got them, use some rugs or some mats, some rubber mats and things like that on any walkways that you're gonna want to walk on. Because that'll really help you from slipping as well. You're going to want to, number three, you're going to want to shovel early. So if you know some snow and ice is coming, you're going to want to shovel it and make sure that all the walkways are nice and shoveled. That way it'll prevent the ice from building up. Now you don't have to worry about it. You're going to want to have to salt your walkways. Just use some rock salt you get cheaply at the store, and you just walk any of the walkways that you're going to be walking on, okay? You're going to want to sand after you shovel that walkway. After you're done shoveling, put some sand down, and that'll help get some traction. And then that way you don't have to, it'll prevent you from slipping any further. You're going to want to stay calm, and remember that you have the right to remain silent. That's important because, you don't want anybody using anything against you. Don't run or resist. If it's icy, you're not going to want to run at all. But don't run and resist anything if you see any of the ice, Don't open the door if you're inside. Well, first of all, it's going to be cold outside. And second of all, you don't need to be opening any doors for anybody because it's so cold and icy out there. Number 9, if they have a warrant, check carefully. You got to ask them if they got a warrant. If anyone comes up to your door, and you're going to want to ask them, you're going to want to look at that and just look at it through a window or something, and whatever you got, don't open that door. And then if they do take you, the ice and stuff, it gets real bad out there. If they do take you, you're going to want to ask for a lawyer, and you don't say anything, and you don't sign any documents. Don't put your name on nothing. So these are some tips on how to deal with the ice and everything that's going on. I know here in Oklahoma it's getting pretty bad, but other parts of the country might be a little bit worse than we are here. But these are your top 10 tips on how to deal with them ice. All right, so now without further ado, we're going to be reviewing some comic books, and I got some good ones for you. Dave is gonna review some comic books. He's gonna tell you what he thinks. He's gonna give it a 5-star rating, a 1 out of 5 of them stars. All right, we got some good comics for you today. No superheroes. That just seems to be the way it works out. I'll be having some superheroes later on, but this one I got is called Angel, and this one's after the fall. So I guess he fell down. Maybe he had some ice and he didn't treat it properly. I don't know. I didn't read that one. But this one's after the fall, and it's by Whedon, Lynch, and Uru, and it's from IDW Publishing for $3.99. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not too bad for a comic book, especially nowadays. This is issue number 7 from IDW there. And Brian Lynch did the script. Joshua Whedon and Brian Lynch did the plot. And I got a whole bunch of people doing all the coloring. Let's see, illustration by Nick Ronge. This was made here in 2008. So 2008. And it follows it jumps around a little bit. Now this comic is Angel. That was a TV series back in the early 2000s and the late 90s, I think. And so it was a TV show first, and they decided to make a comic book out of it, which is kind of cool. It'd be cool if it were a comic book first, but you know, that's just sometimes that's not how things go. So it kind of jumps around a little bit from story to story, this one, because you got a whole bunch of different characters. And now if you watch the TV show, you might know what they are, but they do a pretty good job of helping you know what they are. So they first follow Wesley as a character in the show. I guess he's one of the partners of this Angel character. And he's, I think he's in hell in this one, and he's trying to get out of hell. He's trying to accomplish something in hell, and so he can get back out of hell. So that follows him for a little bit, and I'll post some stuff up there, you'll see. And so yeah, he's in hell, and he's trying to figure out what he's trying to accomplish, a mission, and he's trying to get out of it. And then it jumps over to this Kate character, and if you know the show, you know that Kate is I think she's like a ex-cop or something, because she had some mental problems and everything. But she's doing better now. And she's trying to rescue this kid. And I think this kid might be Angel's son. I'm not sure. They didn't go into too much detail. And so she's going to rescue him. And then she's got to fight all these gang of demons before they cause any more trouble. And so that's kind of what she's doing in this one. They have this giant spider that they beat. And then she's going to go blow up some guys. And then it follows the son a little bit. The son's like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then he tries to grab some weapons and take care of it. And there's this big old fish in there that can use telepathy and talk to things. And in the angel world, there's a bunch of different characters that, you know, they do different things. You got vampires, you got different things like that, all hell demons and stuff like that. So this is Angel after the fall. And if you saw the show, you're definitely going to pick it up. But you know what? It's a damn good comic. It reads real well. It's got a lot of good artwork, and I'll show you in there. I'm going to have to give this one 5 stars just because of the creativity and all the history and everything that comes with it. You're going to want to watch the shows, but I'd recommend reading the comics for sure. You're going to want to read all the Angel comics. And if you read them in order, you might figure out how he fell down in the first place. So, and the funny thing is, Angel's not even in this one, but it's called Angel. He's out recovering from something. So, definitely 5 stars, and we're going to bag this one up for sure, because you're going to want to read how he fell down and what happens after it, you know, is what this is about. So, you're going to figure out how he fell down and what happens after this comic book even, because I'm pretty sure there's another comic where he might get up or something. I don't know. I haven't read that one yet. I hope to. That's why I'm going to bag it. It's a bagger for sure. 5 stars. All right, next up we got... Now this one's a real good comic book. I really like this one. Might be one of my favorites that I read so far. It's called Dead Fish Bedeviled. See, Dead Fish Bedeviled. It's a #1 comic book. It's from All American Comics, and that's a great company. I really like a bunch of their comic books. They're really good. And this one was $2.25. So it's a little bit cheaper than that Angel comic, and boy, it's pretty good. Let's see, this one is #1, volume 1. This is made in 1990. Dead Fish Bedeviled, the swan song of Salamander Deadfish. And Salamander Deadfish, he's the main character in this book. He's this like he was a college student. He did these thesis, and then he's working in a lab, and he does like psychiatric kind of work. He did a astral projection paper, you know, in college, and it did real well and stuff like that. So he works in like mental institutions and stuff like that. But in the beginning of the comic book, it's really cool because he's got this pal, and his pal's going to rescue him from this opium den in Nepal, because you go to Nepal to get all your opium, I guess. I've never done it. And they got to get him and shoot him with this, shoot him and knock him out with this chemical, thorine, I think is what it's called. They said it a bunch in this comic book. But anyway, they knock down and they rescue Dead Fish from the opium den, and he just wants to stay there and die and take opium until he dies. So, but his pal's not gonna have any of that. So he rescued him. He's gonna bring him back. People love him in the States. So he's trying to figure out how we got in the opium den. His pal's trying to figure out how he got in the opium den in the first place. So it jumps back and it goes to the history of how it happened. And it turns out he fell in love with this girl in college, and they had a fling for a couple months, and it was like, you know, the hippie days, and they were all doing all sorts of fun, crazy stuff in bed and all that. And but then one day she just kind of disappears, and he gets real sad about it, but he continues with life, but he goes downhill from there, and he doesn't even know why. So they find him in this opium den, and it turns out the girl that he liked a lot, she had this demon inside of her, and she was a friend. She was feeling real weak and young and impressionable back in college, and so she had this relationship with this rich guy who like worships the devil and stuff. So he got a demon inside of her, and she gave that demon to him on purpose. That's why she started a relationship in the first place. So she's not that great of a person. She just wants to help herself, you know. So she gave that demon to him, and that's why he wanted to kill himself, go to the opium den and all that. And I can really relate to this. When I was drinking all that alcohol and stuff, you know, I just wanted to stay inside and drink all day, and I just didn't give a hoot, wouldn't holler what happens, you know. So anyway, they take him back to the psych place, to the mental institution, and there's this nurse there, and said she's going to give him the vitamin shot. Well, it turns out it was some sort of solution to get that demon out of him, and she wanted that demon in her. So that nurse got the demon inside of her, and she was retrieving that demon for that big devil worshiper guy, that rich guy. And so she was trying to retrieve it so she can bring it back to the devil worshiper guy. Well, I don't want to spoil too much. This is a really good comic. It was let's see here. It was created by Gomian and Walker. David Gomian, he wrote it. Charles Walker, he penciled it. And Mark Yanko, he was the inker in this. Now, there's some really good inker in this. Really good line work and all that stuff. That Mark Yanko, I really like that. And I'll show you some pictures up here. So, Dead Fish Bedeviled. This is a really good book. One of my favorites. This is a good company too, All American Comics. If you see anything by All American Comics, I would go ahead and grab that. Let's see here. I think you already know because I talked about it a lot, but I think I'm going to give this book 5 stars. This was a really good book. It's going to be a 5 stars, and it's a bagger for sure. This is another #1. I think it's the third #1 that I got, so I'm definitely going to bag it up because there's going to be many more of these comics coming. And I want to see what happens to that devil worshiper guy. I want to see what happens to Dead Fish, the professor. I want to see all that. I'm really excited about what happens in this comic book here. So definitely 5 stars and a bagger. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the comic review. And I'll have more for you every Saturday, and I'll post up some shorts. So be sure you like and subscribe and follow. All right. Take care.